sheeple!
Wake up.
It's time to wake up. It's also time for the Academy Awards, or as we call them, the Obfuscation Awards.
Or you could also call them the Holluminati. Yeah, Hollywood and Illuminati combined into one word because they're the same thing. Maybe you should ask yourself, sheeple, why did the Academy snub the Lego movie? One of the best movies of the year. Didn't even get nominated. They got 10 movies they can nominate now.
Lego Movie's too subversive. I'm surprised the filmmakers weren't executed. It's a total representation of our society. We are little yellow pieces being moved around these pegs by giant hands. The giant hands of the Freemason Illuminati.
There's a movie that came out this year that probably should have won for Best Picture, okay? It was called Nightcrawler. You gotta ask yourselves, sheeple, why no Nightcrawler? Why?
It exposes the puppet masters.
Nightcrawler is practically a documentary about the Holluminati. The Holluminati didn't think that the guy that wrote the movie about robot boxers was gonna make a movie that exposed the truth. Let's look at the Best Picture nominees this year, okay? We got a cowboy, okay? We got an algorithm, a pothead, an acid head, a nerd, another nerd, the scariest guy from Oz, okay? Oprah, and Oprah. I mean, Oprah is the Holluminati in chief. Look, I'm not saying the Oscars is about legitimizing propaganda and then shoving it down your throat, or maybe I am. If the Holluminati doesn't intend their movies to be propaganda, why the propaganda? All right, let's look at Birdman, okay? The movie is one long tracking shot.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? It's not one long tracking shot. That's impossible. It's impossible, sheeple. The whole thing is CG. It's like Shrek, okay? It's not real people. Michael Keaton, come on. He's been dead for years. He does Batman Returns in 1992, okay?
He was a snowman, a dad who died and come back as a talking snowman. Hello, that's the hint right there that he's dead in real life.
And then he takes 1995 off. I mean, come on. Takes 1995 off over they're upgrading their systems. And then he does Multiplicity, okay? What's Multiplicity about,
Spells
sheeple?
it out for you, sheeple.
They're telling you, okay? It's a movie about clones.
Yeah, Birdman. I call it Turd Man because it's a load of shit.
The subtitle of Birdman is The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
They spell it out right there.
They just tell you.
They're telling you to stay asleep and be ignorant. It's virtuous.
The best propaganda is honest propaganda. It says, hey, I'm propaganda.
Okay, Whiplash. The movie Whiplash. In this film, an abusive neo-Nazi screams at a soft boy and he molds him into a great musician. What does that tell you? It tells you you should accept the abuse we're getting from the Holluminati because it's good for you. Because it's going to make you a better person. Sheeple, you are being abused right now and you like it. And you know what? We're the drum and the Holluminati is the drumstick. And we're getting beaten until our fingers bleed.
You ever wonder why no one ever questions Operation Paperclip?
Theory of everything, or as I call it, theory of nothing, okay? It's the story of Stephen Hawking. Now, first of all, Stephen Hawking speaks with his computerized voice. The computerized voice is the man. There is no more man, okay? In the 80s, the computerized voice achieved self-awareness. That shriveled little man you see in the motorized wheelchair, he's a meat prop.
You really believe that there's some physicist that lives in a wheelchair and he talks through a computer?
That computer is like sending out misinformation about the nature of the universe, so we don't realize that we're living on a prison planet, okay? He discusses black holes like the black hole that's sucking our souls out of our body into infinite space.
Oh, convenient that black holes exist, right, sheeple?
Director Wesley Anderson, he made this movie called The Grand Budapest Hotel. Now this guy is a huge hack. If you've seen any of his movies, they're terrible. How could the guy who made the Darjeeling Limited have a movie up for Best Picture? Because it's propaganda and they want you to watch this crappy movie. You know what? The Grand Budapest Hotel doesn't even take place in Budapest. This movie takes place in a mythical Eastern European country called Zubrowski. Now Zubrowski is an anagram for Kazu Brow. Kazu being Japanese for harmony and Brow being German for beer, because they want you to be intoxicated with the idea of harmony. They don't want you to rock the boat, sheeple. And you're supposed to be happy to be like a lobby boy in this grand hotel. A lobby boy serving the reptilian overlords, being happy about it.
Oh, would you like some room service, Lizard Master?
You can check out anytime you like, Sheeple, but you can never leave. Boyhood, okay, that's the only movie that's up for Best Picture that was not government-funded propaganda. But the thing is, when I watch that movie, I feel like I aged 12 years, more like Boringhood. Of course, the less said about the fact-based movie Selma, the better. They're just trying to, once again, make you think that Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated by a lone gunman. No one in history has ever been assassinated by a lone gunman. Martin Luther King Jr. was about to expose the truth of our reptilian overlords. He was going to start the real civil rights movement. That's why it had to be taken out.
MLK is a hero, but not for the reasons you think, Sheeple.
Speaking of snipers, American Sniper. The real American Sniper, Chris Kyle, was conveniently murdered before his book was made into a movie. That way the government could control the narrative.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit convenient, right? His book's about to come out, movie about him being made, and then he's dead? From a guy that suspiciously sounds like a Manchurian candidate?
Now, Chris Kyle supposedly had PTSD when he came back from Iraq. His PTSD was him shaking off his brainwashing and remembering what he really did. All right, he was going to write a second book that told the truth. That's why he was taken out. American Sniper, I call it American Diaper because it's full of shit. Now, they would have you believe that the movie The Imitation Game tells the true story of how the Brits cracked the Nazi code and won World War II. Well, first of all, World War II wasn't a war. It was an act of collusion between FDR and Hitler to redistribute wealth.
World War II was an inside job, Sheeple.
Hitler lived the rest of his life in Argentina. He didn't die until 1978 because he was on our payroll. All right, now this chaos that enveloped Europe made a lot of Jews flee to America, where they ended up in Hollywood, conveniently to start the film industry, full circle, Sheeple, the Holluminati. That's the imitation game. You're imitating a free person because you're not free, Sheeple.
Sheeple, I just ask one thing, okay? Before you discount what we're saying, just look for the pyramids. Just look for the pyramids when you're watching the Oscars, okay?
If you don't see the pyramids, it's because your eyes are closed. Is this all a dream?
Wake up!